There. Great.
I have a migraine.
Oh, no.
No. Kyle has a migraine. Go away. Go somewhere else.
No.
Turn off your lights.
I'll
Yeah,
cover.
turn off the
I'll cover
lights,
for
at least.
Kyle tonight.
Yeah,
I can change my name.
Here.
I can change my name to
Wife of Kyle.
Wife of Kyle. Yeah.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Laser Sports Podcast. The number one pod. Chris is looking around like number one podcast. If you love Laser Time, it's Laser Time. What's up, everybody? We're here with Matt and Kyle as the usual. And I see Rhiannon. What's up, Rhiannon?
She's running away now.
Nothing to say. Goodbye. We're going to be talking a lot about her business tonight, so that'll be fun. And that's because Chris is here. What's up, Chris?
What's up? Hello.
It's been like 25 episodes since you've been on.
Yeah, time difference and,
It's okay, man. I'm glad
jobs.
you're here.
And
It's good to see you.
It's good.
You're going to be on a lot more soon enough.
That is true. It will be a requirement soon.
It will be a requirement soon, and you'll be in the same time zone, so that will be nice.
That will be nice.
Yeah,
that's right.
So we're here, guys. No solid plans today. I know Matt has a few things that he wants to make sure that he touches on. We'll try not to aggravate Kyle's migraine, and I have a few questions for you guys, and Chris has some projects to show off. So we've got enough going on, but if you've got any questions for us, I'd love to try to answer them, including one that I saw somebody asked on the LMA earlier today, which I'll make sure I reserve time for at the end. It's about combining libraries for Lightburn, which is doable. Very, very doable, super easy. So, for instance, if you have an existing library and you want to grab the Laser Everything library, can those libraries be combined? The answer is yes, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So we'll make sure that we touch on that tonight a little further into the episode. For now, welcome. Glad to have you guys here live. I see Ed. We got John. Laura's here. Lori. Yuri, what's up? Willie Sims, of course. John Uftring. It's good to see all you guys. I'm glad that you're here with us tonight. And Matt, you've got just like a laundry list. I think you have more than anyone else. So why don't you kick it off today and hit us up with some of that Matthew goodness.
So basically I was talking with everybody just before the show started about like projects we were working on, and Chris was talking about some of the stuff he's going to show. And I was like, that reminds me of the episode that we just published with my daughter. So if you guys haven't seen it, which not a lot of people saw it, but that's okay. It's really a great project for like a great video for you guys to take a look and see, because you may have been misled by the title where it's just set, and that's fine. Like the whole thing is there's a really cool, I'm going to share my screen here real quick.
I got you. I'm already on it.
Oh, you got I'm going to share this one. So let me talk about this. Yeah. Go for it.
Well, all right. Yeah. So this is the episode.
Yeah.
That's
so in this episode with my super cute daughter and me, like there's me. Basically we worked on a bundle of adorable. Really cool, yeah, super adorable. Yep, duh. See, looks even new. She did a great job. Like, I'm not kidding you when I say she came up with this project on her own, put it on paper. We designed it together like that right there, and then we put it together. But that box is kind of the star of the show, really. And so that's where, let me jump over to this real quick.
Yep.
So I'm going to change it to here. And so this website is really what the video was about. It was a video that Kyle had made at Christmas time showing you guys how to make like a quick box for items that he had made.
Yeah.
So this website is festi.info, boxes.py. If you want that link, go to the video that we just showed you. It's in there. And it made something as simple as what Kyle is holding. Simple, but really effective, by the way. It made that box, which was a 6-sided rectangle, and we put a slit in the top so that kids could put Valentine's stuff in there. But here's what's really cool. It also makes stuff as complicated as this thing. And when I say it made it, I just punched in, like, look at this. Look at this cool thing. Oh, my God. So this is an organizer bin.
Wait, that was made in the same software?
Yeah, same
Yeah.
software.
Oh,
I
no
pressed
way?
in. I literally said that I wanted it to have 5 bins, each of them like 75 millimeters wide, by 4 inches deep, and 100 millimeter deep. And it did all of this in like 30 seconds. Generated it. I cut it in like 10 minutes. Hammered it together with my little rubber mallet in about another couple of minutes.
Bro,
And
that's
for
an
free,
episode right there. We need to
that's
take
what
a
I'm
look
trying
at
to
that.
tell you. So like
Yeah.
that's where I was gonna do like here's how to make a box, but here's how to make some other really great stuff.
I
So this
wonder
even has hanger
I
holes on it.
wonder if that would work with like Romark,
I'm sure it would.
or like a
Or
plastic one.
Acrylics, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and speaking of which, shout out to our sponsor, new sponsor, Laser Source Podcast, Johnson Plastics Plus. They have a ton of the material that you need in order to run your business, if not all of it, including very nice woods and a selection of the best 2-ply of plastic that I've ever used. It's called Romark. Maybe like some of the Duramark would be good for boxes.
Yeah,
That's something
they
I want to
actually-
test out.
They actually sent over some 1/8 material, and that's what this is. So this is in the video. It's 3.18 millimeters, which is 1/8 of an inch.
Yeah.
And it would absolutely snap together the same way.
I
Like
want to try so I know they've sent me a box of stuff just like you two guys to like dig through, and I'm sure that I have some plastic in there, and that might be one of the first things I do with it. I'd really like to play with that, but neither here nor there. Johnson Plastic Plus guys, jpplus.com, super awesome website, everything you could want and need. There's a link down in the description that helps out the channel when you shop with it, plus a coupon code for 15% off any order. Go check that out. Links in the description.
And so this is actually the other thing. You guys should be seeing a short with these 16-ounce cups. So these are the things I've held up forever on the channel. Like anybody who's watched the show knows, I use my mess up cups for like little pencil holders.
Yeah.
But basically, this, you guys should be seeing a short. A lot of people know how to do black cups and dark colored cups using the fiber, but things like pink and teal and the white ones really are tough because of the fact they have that reflectiveness, the white pigmentation. So pretty much Kyle and I just made these with the CO2 Galvo, and basically it's like how to make a cup in about 30 seconds. I think we got it down to, Kyle, right?
I'm pretty sure it was under that.
Yeah. So you buy them for $4, you sell them for 12, and then if you hit a certain number, I sell them for 11, then down to 10. But either way, making $6 or $6 to $8 in under 30 seconds or 30 seconds is pretty dope. So you'll see.
Shout out Miranda too, really quick.
On
those shorts. Miranda's, since Boyce got too busy for us, Miranda has completely taken over the Laser Everything kind of social media gang, and she's extremely serious about it, and she's been putting like so much effort into our social media lately. So if you haven't checked that out, she's taking a really interesting path as far as generating content for it. And that usually when you see content on social media, it's trying to drive traffic somewhere else, like to a website to make sales, or in our case, like the YouTube channel. But Miranda has been specifically generating content to serve the market that is on that platform. And so one of the cool things she just posted was a video that Kyle and Matt shot where they were engraving these pint glasses, and she formatted and structured the whole thing about like around settings delivery right there in the platform while you're watching without having to go somewhere else.
Right. So you can just screenshot the settings, try it yourself.
Try it yourself. Yeah. So I really dig what she's been doing with the social media, and she's only going to be posting more often. I know she's like, we've never had a post scheduled for social media ever, and she has one scheduled for tomorrow. So it's like she's already like starting to get ahead, and she's got a lot of plans for it. So if you haven't checked it out, make sure you go follow us, specifically on Instagram and TikTok. That's where she's going to be primarily focusing her energy. And I'm really excited to see what kind of content she puts out.
Yeah, and I've already talked to her about the same idea with settings, but like how she's doing that. So this is what Alex was talking about. If you guys don't know about like the 2-layer Duramark engraving plastic where it goes from red to white or whatever colors underneath like the substrate. Basically, they sent me 2 pieces of this, and this coupled with some donations from H&H Creations Tampa, I'm actually going to make a video showing people how they can make easy money, but I'm donating it all. Like it's literally all getting donated to the school that my wife works at. So I'm going to make some signs for them. But I could literally walk you guys through not only the pricing, how to buy this stuff, because what's really cool is you can buy this stuff where it comes with adhesive already applied. You can buy it like 12 by 24, 24 by 20. There's so many options. So long story short,
can we talk about that for a second too before we zip past it? Because honestly, every time Matt talks to me about anything while we're working, I'm half listening because I'm half doing something else because I never stop doing stuff to have a conversation. So can you explain this to me as well as the people that are listening? Because you've been planning on doing this episode for a little while, and I would like a little bit more of like a solid preview now that I'm actually like I have my undivided attention.
So long story short, what's happening with this kind of material, if you've never used it, it's basically a engravable plastic where there's a substrate and then there's what's on top too. Like, so there's 2 layers of plastic. The top comes off. Underneath is what's going to be shown. We actually made a video about this before called Plastic Payday, where we showed you guys like how you can take $40 or $50 and turn it into, $400. And so what's really neat is they have all of these colors here, and I'll show you guys later on. I can show you another part of the website where it's literally got it. Actually should be pretty, let's see. I have to look over to the left now. So we've got popular brands, Romark. Let's see what we got here. So this is where you guys can actually find out more about Romark. And so you've got LaserMax, the ADA alternatives. They have so many different like things here.
I usually buy the LaserMax. So this is what the episode is going to be about, right?
Right. So this is the real product. The reason I brought up that Duramark was the 1/8, like the really stiff material that's really like for making a box would be great because you could literally laser engrave and decorate it right there on the spot. With LaserMax, what's really cool is it's the same pricing, but what you've got is a variety of colors, and you can see like if you came in and wondered why are the colors the way they are, this is because we're at the 1/32 of an inch, which is pretty thin. This is like applique. So if you were trying to do a multi-layer thing where you could have different colors on top of different colors on top of different colors, here you go. What's really cool about this is you can get it to be 2-layer, and you can have it be the different size sheets that you need. But you can also get the tape applied to it. So if you're somebody who you don't use tape a lot, this is really quick and easy. I click plus tape and it costs $4 for them to apply it to the entire sheet, which is pretty fair. If it's 12 by 24, that means you basically just paid $2 for adhesive to already be applied. And when it shows up, I actually have some that they sent me. It's cut straight to the edges, bada bing, bada boom. You toss it in and you're ready to go. And so certain colors are available, but what's really neat is you can get them on the different golds and the different metal colors, so you've got bronze.
I bet as you raise the thickness, like more of those options are going to become available.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's the thing. So when you hit 1/16, bam.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So we got way more
the
options.
episode that you're planning will break down like all of the options they offer on their site and when you would want to buy.
Yeah, and what might be appropriate for what projects a little bit more. So that way, and the thing is, we'll record it so it'll be there for people to go back through and kind of be like, oh, I have to do this. Like, so for example, if you were going to put something on a wall, 1/32 is probably not the way to go. You're going to be looking for like 1/8 to.
Right, you're not putting 1/32 on standoffs.
Yeah, but what you could do though is if you had different substrates like wood or acrylic and you wanted to put 1/32 on it to add a splash of color with some laser cut, and you did some etching on the acrylic first to then pop it on, where it's already got the adhesive there. So literally laser cut, etch, and then apply right where you put the etching. I mean, you're basically making
I bet that would be great for like hat applications too.
Yep. And so there's some people doing that already. We got Lone Star Adhesive, which you can find on the marketplace. They're there. A lot of different companies are starting to work that, but he basically uses Romark, by the way, so he buys Romark, puts his special stuff on it, applies it, makes it nice. And there you go. And so what's really neat is you can do all of that stuff with the different sizes. So if you've got a larger bed, like I got 24 by 24 sent over, they're nice enough to send me a little bit larger so I can do some projects for some companies around here. And they also have demo pieces, which is really cool, but just less, right? Limited. And you can always reach out to them and say, hey, I'm looking for this, and just call and they can make that for you. But what's really cool about this too is I was talking with our contact there, and she was telling me that they can actually make you, if you're someone who orders a large enough amount, like let's say you work with a school and they want 1,000 of something, right? Because my high school I taught at had 2,400 students. If they wanted every kid to have like a keychain or something for their locker or something, you can actually call and say, hey, I have navy blue with gold, which they do not offer here. And they can actually work with you to create a run of that material, which is really cool. So they can actually make you specific items. But to get that, you have to call their phone number, which will be in the video, and I'll explain all that. And that's the kind of thing that I don't think people really, I would have not thought of that. Like I jokingly was like, man, I wish you guys made navy with gold. And she was like, we can. And I was like,
yeah.
What? Yeah. So anyways, there's a process to it, and there is like a minimum order and all that stuff. But again, if you're someone who's going to be working with people, lots and lots, there you go.
Sure.
So that was the one thing. And then the other thing that we used in the video that I was going to kind of share real quick.
Yeah, we went way off on a tangent. My bad.
No, it's good. It's like, that's what the video is going to be about. So, and let me just throw this one last thing up here. So if you went to the marketplace, let me just jump back a screen.
Marketplace has been bumping lately.
Yeah, we've done pretty well lately. Like, and that's because the vendors are doing really well. Like they keep up with it. There's a lot of good communication. We keep making upgrades, and we're getting good advice on the upgrades that people are wanting as we're moving it forward. One of the
things too, just because I haven't derailed enough today, one of the things that like has jumped out at me has been, of course, people have had issues with their orders since launching, and just seeing the vendors take action to resolve those issues.
Oh yeah.
Has made me feel so much better. That was one of the things I think I was like most nervous about before we launched, was just like, I hope the vendors do their job, you know, and they have been, and it's made me feel like a lot better about everything.
Well, what's really nice is anybody who's had any issues, we've literally just been able to call the person because we have their personal phone numbers. This isn't like Etsy where it's like 50 million people that who knows who they really are.
Yeah.
Like we were able to call them or text them and say, hey, just heads up, this is going on. And they're like, oh, thanks so much. And it works, you know?
Yeah.
So the other thing I want to give a shout out to is, and I bought this with my money. This was not sent to me or anything. So this is like my endorsement of it personally. If you went to the marketplace and you typed in tape, Kyle, I know, maybe he can talk about what he bought in a minute if he's feeling up to it. But I bought this. So this is on pre-order right now. So let me
Kyle's like, bye.
Just like, maybe I can just get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is a new on pre-order item because it's being shipped into the country currently right now, because as soon as people found out about it, it sold out. Like it was like, boom. Right. I have my roll right here. Ugh. And as soon as I heard about it, I was like,
this is Brown, right?
Yeah. So this is David Brown. He's one of the admin/mods that used to help run the Laser Lounge. And he actually had to step away from that because we didn't realize what he was doing. He was making a company, like he was adding more to his company he already has. So if you go to our website, you can see it, Creative Cut Designs, and I'll kind of let you go here. But basically, he's got for $80. So this is a 60-yard roll of 3M equivalent, right? So this is like the not the 467, but the 300 LTE, I think, or LSE or whatever, like the really sticky stuff. And so. When you get it, I'm trying to find the edge here. There you go. So long story short, when you get it, it's just like using anything else, right? It's got the peel and stick, and you just apply it the one side to the part you want. You like hopefully should have it on a roller, and you just would roll it out. Mm-hmm. And you press it down, get all the air bubbles out with a nice little squeegee, and you cut it. So with the video that we just made earlier, where I told you guys can find a link to that, and I guess we'll probably stick a link to this in this one too.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you. Like Evelyn, you saw her help me measure 12 by 19 in the video, and that's so we could actually know exactly how much we needed, and it fit perfect, man. We just rolled it out, cut it with some scissors or a little X-Acto.
Yeah, I know we were talking to David too. This was like one instance where we don't really have like a pre-order system set up for the marketplace, so we made a special exception for this, and just to like see how it would go, you know. As far as pre-orders go. and it seems to be working out. So that's exciting too, just from a technical perspective.
Well, and so that's the thing. So when I say pre-order, I think it's probably going to be like 10 more days or something. I don't want to say a number for sure.
I mean, his listing now says ships in 1 week. It's right there in the title.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. So in 10 days, I think from when he posted it, it should be like to your house. Like if you bought it today, I think it'd be probably 10 days because the week it takes to get here, plus a couple of days, right? So long story short, really great product from a really great guy. Oh, he's here. We should have stock within the week. This is David from his other business. Yeah, Woodland Workshop.
Nice.
So David's super nice guy. He really always takes care of everybody in the community that we had. And I know he's going to take care of people this way. But what's really cool is if you look at how much a roll of 3M, I think it's like $300 for a roll of 3M that's equivalent. So 12 inches by 60 yards. And I know that Kyle had asked, are they going to have 2-foot rolls at any point? And he had said basically, yes, they will. But they're working on getting that to his specifications.
One thing I'd like to see, David, since you're watching, is I typically buy the 468 MP in 12 by 12 squares. I really like. Does he have that? Is that on the marketplace?
Check this out. So I was just showing people the roll because the value is crazy. But let's say you want to just test it out, right?
He's got 12 by 20s. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, 12 by 20. So literally the size of every sheet that you buy from Romark, from JP Plus, from H&H Creations, from actually he's got a website too. He's going to be putting plywood on our site soon. So you can take a look. It says ships in 1 to 2 weeks. It'll be 12 by 20 sheets. And it's $45 for a pack of 20. So again, think about
typically I'm doing like small runs.
Right.
So I don't always want to put adhesive on the back of like an entire sheet. Like sometimes I just want a nice little 12 by 12 square. I slap it on. I can cut what I want from that section. And I have the rest of it kind of unadhered that I can like throw back into storage until I need it again. Is how I find myself.
Yeah. Well, and that's the only way I could afford to buy the 3M. That's the thing. So now what's really nice is right now when he's got the stock, you buy the product now. So that way when Christmas or these ornament holidays come, you're stocked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like I need one of those big
Speaking of the marketplace and super cool people, shout out to Frank Morrow, who is Fat Boy Hella Products.
Yep.
Right? He actually, so he was one of the people that we reached out to.
Dude, yours came in like packaging and shit.
Yeah, he likes me better because I helped him.
That's so cool.
So if you don't know about Frank's products, he's actually, we have Alex, maybe you can talk about the video.
Yeah. Well, it's not ready yet. And I, of course, don't have any visual aids with me here at the moment. But
you've seen them, though. You've had your hands on it. I have had
my hands on them. So basically, they're like single point fixtures. So basically, the parts that Matt is holding will go in the same spots every time you mount them to the board, same distance from one another, and they're cut between the two of them to make a perfect mount point for an item. In this case, coins, right? So those two are not meant to be, so they're going to sit kind of like that, exactly. Right. And the coins are going to slot right into place each time. They're thick with two C's, and they're just sick. Dude, yours are anodized. Yours are so much better. I might need pictures for that.
So these are like the coolest red. They're like light burn red.
Yeah, those are really nice.
And this is something. So two things that I was looking forward to when
mine are like raw aluminum.
Yeah, well, I can't get them out of the packaging because I'm a sissy. But anyways, look at this. These are really, really dope.
Yeah, little cheese plates. Yeah.
Yep. And then this is really cool. It's the hold down basically. So you can take a piece of aluminum or something and basically press it down. So if you were doing some cutting.
Yep.
There's a little compression plate that comes with this that goes on top, and you lay them flat, stretch them across, and then you can cut them. And these are all things that are listed on the website too.
Yeah, so, Frank's had some stuff up. He's also one of the first people that ever bought advertising space on the Laser Everything website. So shout out to Frank for being an early supporter for one of our many, many new products.
So nice.
Dude, I'm so jealous. I mean, like the raw aluminum ones are really nice, but I don't know why I didn't get anodized ones. I want yours.
These aren't anodized. These aren't the droids you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
They're painted with rubber.
Yeah. Powder coated.
Yeah. Anyways, so long story short, I know that was like a ton of stuff, and I basically
it's a
ate
ton
up
of
like
stuff.
half the show. But all that stuff, go check out the.
I knew you would. That's why I let you go first.
I know. There's so many things to check out. There's so many cool products. I think because it's the new year, maybe, and everybody's just like blowing up. They want to show off their stuff. But the video that I made, I think would be probably out of all those things for free, the most useful to anybody who's looking to learn how to make boxes, use kerf, play with the joints, the different types of joints. And it's all because Kyle found that website and I was able to play with it. And I think there'll be some neat stuff there. So,
yeah.
I got something for everybody.
All right.
How about a live unboxing?
Ooh, go for it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Also, Mike C's asking, is Romark pretty much only for CO2s? No. I've had success. No way, dude. You're making like
it's really good on CO2s.
It's really good on CO2s. I've had great success with fiber. I've had on darker colors. Doable. Totally doable. Not so much cutting, but marking. I've had really good success with diodes on certain colors.
Oh yeah.
The biggest struggle if you're going to be marking Romark with a diode, cutting's pretty straightforward as long as it's opaque. But marking it can be a little challenging only because the diode's dot size is so small. You have to have really high line or really low line distances, really tight line distances in order to not have a bunch of horizontal lines of unmarked material. So that's the main thing about diodes. You could defocus your diode laser to get a larger spot, and that may help, but you're going to have to play with the settings a little bit in order to get that to work. But it's something to consider. And then UV, same as the diode. UV's just got a really, really small dot. So you're going to just struggle with run times, essentially, because you have to put so many more lines in order to get that consistent color reveal through the second layer of the 2-ply. So if you are on a really small dot sized laser, my advice would be try defocusing, try to get that dot size bigger, and then play with the settings to compensate. But as far as like CO2 goes, easily the king of this kind of material. It's got a nice big dot size, which is something you want when you're working on this kind of stuff. And it will cut, which is great because especially on gantry. I've seen a couple people have gotten away with it, Matt included, I think, cutting it on a CO2 Galvo. I wouldn't recommend it if you have a gantry available, but it's doable.
I was going to say the other thing, though, is defocusing is key on any CO2 that you use to get a nice clean engrave with that and as low air as possible for the engrave. You can always hit it with air, but it's just going to make dust and crud, and you got to clean it with the degreaser. That's what I'm going to show you guys in the video. So using the CO2 Galvo, you can make basically, I think I use my 300 lens in it, so I can make anything that's up to a foot in seconds. It's so fast. It's insane. So just so ridiculous. That's why I plan on making about 50 or 60 signs for my wife's school. And that's one thing that would normally take like hours, and it should take minutes. So
I think we talked about this in the past. This is the first episode of Laser Everything ever. Back when I called it Monroe Laser Engraving, which was the name of our shop. And
it's young Alex.
Dude, this is Romark Naturals. This is our first episode we ever uploaded. Long before the show was sponsored by them. And we did plenty of air, and you can see, I wanted to point out what Matt was talking about here. You can see it. And we actually take a bit of alcohol to it. Works really well with the magic eraser. This video holds up pretty well over time, because once it's done cleaning with the alcohol and then you follow it up with a little Zep, man, you get a really, really nice result. And again, this was with a gantry CO2 laser, a crappy one too, an old crappy Ohm Tech that was old when I bought it. And, the stuff is just nice, man. It's just good stuff. So anyway, neither here nor there. I just wanted to show that off really quick because we were on the subject. But thanks for the question, Mike. I totally interrupted you, Matt.
Was I talking? I thought it was Kyle.
Yeah, I thought you were. Oh, was it Kyle? No, Kyle was going to do his unboxing. You interrupted Kyle, and then I interrupted you.
I think it's time for me. No. I'll just.
Why don't you get started and introduce what you've got, and then while you're unpacking, Chris can show off his stuff too, because I do want to take a look at that while we're at it.
This is a box from Anthony.
Ooh.
Yeah. Over at Beam It Up Laser Works.
Yeah, I'll pull up
off the marketplace.
Yep,
Yeah,
I'll pull it up.
pull
This
up
will actually be a short unboxing.
Yes, it'll be a very short unboxing.
So
Short and
actually,
sweet.
the same keyword will get you to the page that we were looking at earlier, which is just tape.
Tape.
Right? It's the...
Yep.
You want me to just click on it? Which one did you get? Did you get both?
I got both.
Ooh. All right. So let's open it in a new tab.
I don't know. I may have to turn my gain up for you guys to hear me.
Sound pretty good.
Hopefully, I'm not blowing up the mic.
Yep. So for those of you who don't know what this is, it's basically 100 millimeter by 30 meter, which is pretty big roll. And then you've got 50 millimeter by 50 meters. And then this is where Kyle and I, when we've been doing trainings lately, we've had to help people with their core files. And we always suggest this as something to use to help figure out core files, because it's so cheap. It's so quick. It goes onto your bed. Look at that. Nice and easy. Bada bing, bada boom. Let me go to Kyle real quick. Woo. And what's nice is it's super, super like textured. I don't think we can hear Kyle.
I'm just
We
being
can.
quiet.
He's just not
Oh
talking.
yeah, okay. So I don't know. What do you think? Tell us about it.
This is the narrower roll, right?
Yep.
It's about the typical width of what duct tape would be, but
Yeah, it's
this is
50
not
mil.
duct tape. That's what makes it special. So duct tape, like duct tape and duck tape are two different things, right? So typically people use duct tape to stick things together, for holding things together, and duct tape, like foil tape, are very different. This is paperback tape, which has no vinyl and no plastic. It's just adhesive and paper. So
Yeah, a lot of duct tapes are PVC backed, by the way. Which obviously is not good. You guys have all been here enough to know that we shouldn't be cutting polyvinyl chloride. So not something you really want to put underneath your laser. Typically, like laser tape like this is going to be like a crepe paper backing. So it's really, really thin. It's paint, giant painter's tape. Yeah, giant painter's tape. So you've got that paper backing, and you don't need to worry about those nasty byproducts from cutting or marking the PVC. So be really careful with duct tape. That's really nasty stuff.
The one thing I'll add too is Anthony really went out of his way to. He actually bought quite a bit of this stuff, and he went through 5 or 6 different vendors to find something that, or when it burns, it's a nice clear white. So if you are using this for core files, or if you're wrapping cups to try to find where your file is going to end, if you're doing a full wrap, anything like that, that it'll really quickly and easily make a nice discernible mark with low heat. So pretty good stuff.
This is where Anthony's saying it's very much like painter's tape, but and this is kind of where he had to hunt to find the right stuff. This specific tape works really well with all 4 major laser types. So and I definitely get what he's saying there. I've bought painter's tape, plenty of it in my business lifetime, and some of it will work great on CO2, and then it will, especially the black. I'll get like a nice bright white mark on CO2, and then I'll take it over to the fiber and mark it, and it's black on black, which is impossible. So being able to use this with all 4 major laser types is one of the key selling points here.
I will say the texture on this,
So
if you've
nice.
ever used black construction paper, which is actually what I used for the lens correction video, this feels very similar.
Yeah. It's almost like a
It's
cloth.
just really thin, which is perfect. It's exactly what you
cloth would be like gaff, but it does have a very similar adhesive, and that's why Katie's here. What's up, Katie? I need this so I can use it to mask without nasty glue garbage. Like gaff tape, it uses a really light adhesive, so it's meant to be able to be removed without leaving a residue behind, and so that's going to be key to its use.
I'm going to cut away from Kyle's hands for just a second. They're beautiful hands, but I wanted to, let's see, is it this one? How do I, this guy. So the reason it's really, again, number one, you're helping out Anthony, who's one of our like awesome people in the community all the time. But the other thing is it's $5 for 30 yards or 30 meters of this, right?
Yep.
So that's the other thing is he priced this so competitively. Like it's way cheaper. If you went to Lowe's or to Home Depot to find this stuff, I think it cost almost double for the same size. So he's really doing us a benefit, like a service, I think, to have it priced that way. So
as he does, you guys know Anthony. Anthony's one of our oldest moderators here. He's highly involved in the Laser Everything community. He spends hours, literally a day, answering people's questions across all of our platforms and communities. So he's a really good guy. We should do what we can to support him for sure. So I want to make sure that we shout that out. Ed C saying gaff tape has more of a fiber content, don't it? Yes. So gaff tape is what we would call cloth backed, whereas like a painter's tape would be a paper backed tape. Both are okay for laser use. I mean, always, you know, if you're going to get something that isn't being sold specifically for this usage, check and see what's being used as like for added. Tons of tapes have additives and things like that. Anthony's done all the legwork, so you don't really need to worry about that here. That's another bonus.
The adhesive is really gentle on this. It's enough to hold it on without being so much that it leaves a bunch of crap behind when you pull it off. So this is great. So you get that extra wide one for if you need to cover like large flat areas, which I imagine would be great for testing. That's what I'll be using for doing my lens corrections now, because I have a lot of lenses to correct. And the narrower stuff I imagine would be better for like if you wanted to test water bottles. So like if you're trying to do a wrap, or if you want to see if like your engrave is matching up from split to split or something like that, the narrower stuff is fantastic.
Ed said, I'll go buy a couple 100 feet if you get to the next sales pitch. Which it's just kind of working out that way this week. We have a lot of, especially like small business owner, like community members who have been sending stuff in lately.
And the other thing is,
so we want to make sure they all get some
full
time.
disclosure, I bought that myself.
And you did buy that yourself.
Yeah.
I bought that.
And that's the thing. So like all the tape I bought too. The only thing that I got this week was from Frank, because literally I helped him overcome a problem, and Kyle helped him overcome a problem this week. And he was really thankful. And he's like, anything you need. And I was like, well, I'm doing a video soon. I could use this. So this I will be using to show you guys. But someone had just asked, where do we get these? And I cannot remember where, because I've got my mouse on a different thing. But someone asked, where can I get the fixtures? And it's right here for $45. You get all of the things I showed you.
Yeah, I have a full video
on the marketplace.
I have a full video on this kit coming out too.
And so this is what they originally looked like when he made them in the raw. And so just to show you guys what they look like. So this is the hold down I was telling you about, like the compression kit, where you could basically stretch a piece of aluminum or gold or silver. This was basically just something to prop it up and make sure it's like a little cheese plate. I mean, lots of great, and there you go. So
cheese plates are my favorite things in that kit. I really like those.
This is what's so nice about our website, is you can just zoom in to show people stuff so easily. But for $45, and he volunteered to send this to me, because I told him, I said, hey, make sure you have some of those ready. I'm going to be buying that in like a week. And he's just like, I got you, man. Here. So you guys will be seeing this. I just want to say thank you very much. So lots of different stuff. The other thing is, if you're looking for risers, he also did some risers. Here are the standoffs, which are super, super priced, man. 100, so 4 inches up off of your bed for $30.
Yeah,
that's a no-brainer. And with shipping, it's probably close to like $40, maybe $10 for shipping would be my guess.
Yeah.
So definitely worth reaching out to him and taking a look. So yeah, there you go. So again, great items. I don't know. Go take a look, man. The marketplace is popping.
Yeah. We are doing a lot of sales pitches tonight, and it's just because everybody who sells stuff on our platform are members of our community. And it's not just stuff that we've been sent for free. Like Matt and Kyle said, it's like stuff that we're using in project videos that we've bought for our shops. Like Matt had to keep coming back to like the adhesive that he was using for the cutouts on his boxes. He didn't we don't have a review of that coming out, He used it because it was there. He got it to do this project, and then it's
the thing
like,
is, my daughter was able to use it, and she's 8.
yeah.
I mean, come on,
So-
like that's the endorsement right there. Is like it's super nice. It worked well. It's actually in a competition right now. It's sitting in a judging hall to be judged. So we put it into the strawberry festival contest. So, anyways,
Speaking
the fact that it
of
made
judgment,
the project,
I said, speaking of judgment,
Judgment.
let's pass judgment on Chris.
Oof. You mean Rhiannon?
What's up?
I
Yeah,
do
it's really
mean
Rhiannon.
It is Rhiannon. Chris is like, here it is. It's horrible. No. So you guys have really kind of like niched down your little Etsy business, and you sell like a thing now, and it's like a ton of it. We were just talking about this on the podcast a couple of weeks ago. You weren't here for it, but I was basically telling everybody like, you guys sell a thing now, and then variants of it. And I was telling them like how Rhiannon sits, and she's just like drawing new panels for these all the time. So if you guys remember, I think the last time you were on, Chris, was around Halloween, and we were looking at some of the Halloween variants of this. You have a new one that you guys have coming out soon?
Yeah, it was Rhiannon's mom's birthday, and she was like, well, I'll make my mom a lantern. And so
she does. She's an instructor, right?
She's a scuba diving instructor. So did a lantern there. Got the turtle, some jellies, you know.
Yeah, sick.
Nice squid, octopus thing, some sharks, scuba diver. So yeah,
dude,
that's the newest one so far. I guess I didn't really think about things to talk about until I'm now talking about it. So that's great. I should say
that's how we roll.
Yeah. But so we've been cutting these on the diode, and I was thinking how much faster it would be if we got a CO2. But I'm starting to wonder whether the CO2 could even do this.
Yeah.
Because of the dot size. I mean, we're already struggling with really thin lines on these right now. Let me see if I can find a good example.
Yeah, I mean, a CO2 is definitely going to increase your kerf for sure.
Let's see.
At the very least, like even the best CO2 will result in an increased kerf.
Like here's I don't know what's better. If I stand in front of it, yeah, there you go. So like the lettering in there.
Yeah, big time, dude.
Pretty fine cuts that we're making, and
That's
I feel
some
like
really dainty stuff, dude. That's cool.
On the CO2, it would just shred that up. So as nice as it would be to get a CO2 to cut some of this stuff, I don't know. Even like the jellyfish here. Let me see. Let me go back to just white. There we go. So jellyfish tentacles there.
Yep.
Pretty fine stuff, but I mean, she's been struggling to cut some of this stuff out, even with the diodes. Let
me ask you, on the inside, how do you hold that in place on like inside of it?
Oh, I mean, it's just on the table, so it just sits.
I mean,
like
the see-through stuff, is that?
We use paper glue.
Oh, nice.
Parchment.
Yeah.
So it's just like parchment paper that you would buy at the grocery store for cooking, and we just cut that up.
Dude, parchment paper makes a great diffuser for lights.
It sure does. I mean, it works pretty well. And so
these have been selling really well for you guys lately too, right? I know you've been getting like your like real reviews.
Yeah. So things have been picking up. I think January was a pretty surprising month for Rhiannon, and then February's been kind of down, but it's just given her more time to make more stuff to throw up on the Etsy store.
Yeah.
So I've been telling her everything that she makes is just like another new target audience she's reaching on Etsy. Is like scuba diver.
Another search term, right?
Yeah.
Comments real quick that people said about your projects. They were saying that the Thunderbolt or something that's got an RF tube could work well because it's got the smaller dot size.
Yeah.
Just something to consider. And then the other question was, what watt diode did you end up using? Etsy's asking.
I think we're doing 10 watt diode.
So tech has definitely improved since that Attesser came out. I think like 20 to 40 watts is the standard now, which is nuts. And the dot sizes have only decreased since then, which is nuts because we're talking double, triple power outputs of these old 5 and 10 watt modules. And the dot size is still smaller their focusing tech has gotten so much better that they're still reducing the dot size even with the increased power. So newer laser would certainly be more capable of it, especially when we're talking about diodes, because diodes are kind of going through a technological
They're getting like
growth
a glow
spurt
up
right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look
Yeah,
at this real
well-
quick. Like, check this out. The algo lasers, 22 watts. Just saying, like,
that original per gear that I reviewed, my first video as a laser everything guy, right? That per gear had a dot size that was like, I think I could do like 135 DPI or something on
It
wood.
was over a mil, right?
Like, yeah, like it was a hair better than my CO2, a hair.
Yeah.
But the new generation of it is like 5 times smaller.
Like tenths of a millimeter now.
good lord.
That's pretty crazy. I wonder if that would probably help us with some of the other struggles we've been having with. I mean, we're buying pretty crappy wood, so we're having troubles like with knots and stuff in the wood.
Yeah.
Voids
You hit a knot,
probably too.
you know, like if it was just clean wood, we'd probably cut through it in maybe 2 passes.
Have you thought about doing? You guys are doing ply, right?
Yeah.
Have you thought about doing like a light hardwood, like alder
I
or
think
something?
we were looking at the prices, and I think just
You have to like buy bulk for it to make sense.
yeah, and it's still a new Etsy store, so there's like very minimal profits right now. So we're trying to keep it as small as possible. But she's also throwing out a lot of wood, so I was trying to do the math on it, and I think
Oh,
it just kind of
check this out.
ended up, cheaper wood is still better, but
Joel back and said it would be cool to make something like what you just showed us with the Romark reverse material. Like, because that's 1/8 also. You know what I mean? So like that would be really neat actually.
Yeah.
That's what Alex was kind of saying too, because like it would cut pretty nice. I'm fairly certain at 1/8 it would go together really nice joints.
Rigid enough, yeah.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Because like when I put stuff together with signs, I mean, you can literally like I've made signs that are freestanding for like shops before, where they just put them on like a little what do you call them? Like for
Pedestal
QR
thing?
codes, basically. Yeah, like the little parcel holder. You just put it there.
Dude, 1/8 sounds pretty thin, and then like you're holding it, and it's a little more chonky than it.
Well, that's the thing.
It
When
feels
you
like it sounds.
think about 3 1/4 millimeters, that's actually pretty thick. So
Yeah.
anywho,
yeah, but would a 10-watt diode be able to cut through it? Maybe.
I want to do. You need to send me a lantern file so that I can cut one, and I want to try to cut it on like the nicest CO2 we have, which is probably the Mira. I want to try to cut it on the Mira and see if I can actually get through the cut, and then I'm gonna cut it out of like some really nice hardwood and like stain it.
here, hold on one second. Check this out. So talking about small business.
I mean, she's got some of these.
So let me just show you this, Chris. So talking about small business and the profits being low, this is where it's cool you can get an 8x12 for $11.
Matt's on the sellout train tonight.
He is, yeah.
I'm
over
not.
here
I
making-
literally was looking at this 100% because I saw this color right here. And I thought, what a weird color. But then at the same time, my daughter would go like crazy for this for a keychain.
Is
And
that
I was
like pink camo?
Yeah. And I was like, there's no way I can buy like a huge sample of it. But the other thing is, if you didn't even, you could bypass JP Plus if you want to 100% and just go to Romark. Like if you Google Romark, you can get free 6x6 samples. Wild Woodworks, who was just on a couple of weeks ago, actually made a video about that I saw, and it was like, here's how you get free Romark samples. So just saying, small business minded.
So the wood stains have been coming out pretty nice, even on this.
Oh, dude,
plywood.
see, that's sick. Yeah, that's really cool.
And
I
then,
like
Yeah,
that.
that is cool.
So it's that we got like
But make him big. Show that one again.
charcoal. Oh yeah, for sure. All right.
Everybody's clicking.
Here it is.
Dude,
Terrible camera.
those are not. I like that better than the flat paint. Big time.
And then, yeah, I mean, I think she's listing them as options. Here's like a cherry blossom one she made.
Oh, that
Oh,
looks
dude,
really
that's
cool.
so nice.
So I mean, the wood stain's been coming out great even on.
What stains
on
are you
this,
guys using?
Ooh, that's a great question.
The kind that comes in a can.
It's so much more nerve wracking when you make me.
It's like a proprietary question for Rhiannon.
Chris, no one's looking
Go
at
ask.
you alone. Like you're part of a group here. No one is singling you out. No. Yeah.
He's got the hair to really do it.
But
too.
yeah, dude, that looks so cool though with like the bonsai tree looking thing. That's dope, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. She's been just pumping these out, right? Valentine's
And
Day
that's
passed.
all
but
1/8, right?
got some of these. Yeah, just
Oh,
1/8. She's like
ooh, look at that.
what's that freaking called? She started like caulking the edges to
Oh,
kinda-
like I know what you're talking about.
Inside or outside?
Like caulking
outside.
it?
So like these edges, they were leaking light. So we started putting a little caulk on the edges here. I say we. I'm not doing any of this. But,
You're doing great, Chris.
It's almost like a glue, like actually gluing.
Yeah,
those
it's like-
pieces together.
Yeah, well, I mean, everything is glued together, but then I think we're taking like, I don't know, caulk and
A
slurping
little
it
bit
down
like
the edges there.
because silicone. I don't know
Yeah,
the difference. No one's
Yeah,
ever taught me.
the stuff
It's
that you
not
put in like the
silicone.
edges of the bathtub.
You have to know the difference when we're live.
Who, me?
No, Matt.
Oh, yeah.
Ed said, "Don't worry, I'll come in the middle of anything you got with another pitch." So let's talk about silicon from. No, I'm just kidding.
Silicone.
What are you gonna say, man? We got
Killing me.
cool stuff and cool community to make some amazing stuff.
I want to know what those stains are, so I will ask Rhiannon what the stains are after the show, and I will include them in the description.
You could beg her to come on the show.
I don't know how I would go. What do you want me to do? Text her? Is she even going to answer?
Well, I didn't.
I
Mean
like
this
me
show.
some Minwax
I'm
personally.
going to call her. I'm going to call her right now.
Oh my god!
What do you think she's doing right now?
I hear her
Playing with the
watching
dog.
TV.
Playing
Oh,
with
good.
the
Then
dog.
she has no excuse.
Probably watching the newest Love Is Blind season.
Miranda said we had this discussion. What did I do? I don't even know. I get in trouble for everything.
I didn't hear anything.
Oh, it's silicone. Yeah, no, I remember 100%. I just wanted to make Alex mad, but I got you instead. So take a shot. Still win a prize.
I don't think she's
All right. There were a couple of questions.
I'm gonna
real
go ahead
quick.
and mute Alex while he makes that phone call.
Yeah. So here's some people real quick. Not picking up. What size CFM fan is recommended for fume removal for the fiber laser? That would actually work for this too, because anytime
I
you're
have
doing,
I have a rant on these.
ooh, let's hear the tirade.
CFM is irrelevant when you're talking about fume removal for lasers because you may have to fight static pressure. So, for example,
You
a
just
fume
helped me with
extractor.
this.
Chris is
a
over there
fume extractor, or rather a fan that is designed to move, let's say, 800 CFM of air that isn't designed for static pressure. When you introduce it to having to suck air out of a room that's sealed, isn't going to move anywhere near that, even at full load. You're probably going to be moving way less than a fraction of what it should be moving. So, for example, I had what was it? A cloud. Oh my God, Alex, what's the brand?
Cloud Ray.
No, you're still muted. Okay, you're not muted.
Don't
Go
fucking mute me. AC Infinity.
Thank you.
Turn
I had an
yourself
AC
bigger, louder
Infinity S8 was my first exhaust fan, and I can tell you, I was moving exactly 0 CFM at the highest setting. My smoke was billowing past the exhaust port on the inside of my machine and laughing at the exhaust because it wasn't moving any air. It was too much for it to overcome. I switched to a centrifugal fan, and I can leave it at 50%, and it moves multiple times more air. So this is going to change based on your setup and what your environment dictates you need.
Not that you shouldn't use a centrifugal fan, because you should, but also don't create a vacuum. Open a door to the room and let new air come in and replace the air that you're pushing out of the room. It helps so much. Like, that little thing can help.
It's not just about
much.
that, though, too. If you're talking about using it on like a CO2, which is an enclosed unit, you're still
Well, yeah,
sucking out of the cavity.
Well, that's what I said. Like, open the front panel. People don't want to do that because they're like, oh, but then I'm going to breathe the smoke. If you create a path for the air to move in, because we're not creating a vacuum, it's not really suction, it's like air pressure. And if you if you open the front panel and you have a giant fan sucking air out of the machine, fresh air is going to move in through the panel, not out towards you. So, you know, we need to do a class on aerodynamics. It's on my list now.
Well, yeah.
Another factor there too is some machines have a door switch. You can't open them while they're running.
What if I don't want to open the door while Brock is roaming around? I don't want him to get his, poor little eyes.
Baby gates.
Centrifuge.
This is where we got to discuss sucking and blowing and the differences between it.
Yeah.
Like an actual serious talk. Like I said, like you guys are trying to hold it together. I'm serious.
Anyways, so back on topic. It depends on what your environment dictates and what you're using it for. If you're trying to suck air through an enclosed machine, a centrifugal fan is highly recommended. If you're in a big open room in a warehouse and you have a lot of free-flowing air, then an axial fan like Macy Infinity would be great.
HR does not approve of your sucking and blowing comment.
I was talking about high pressure and low pressure. Duh. So real quick, just these are the things that Kyle has starred. I think it was Kyle Star and stuff. John said signed up with JP Plus over the weekend. Easy peasy to upload my docs to become tax exempt. Yes, that is. I've not mentioned that. Why give the government your money? Keep it.
Yeah, one of the great things, I don't think we've ever talked about this before, but one of the great things about Johnson Plastics Plus, by the way, is that if you don't want to jump through the business hoops, you don't have to. You can just buy from them. You'll have to pay sales tax, but you can just buy from them. So if you don't have like an employer identification number, or you haven't registered a business and it really is like a side hustle, like an actual side hustle, you can just buy from JP Plus. They don't care. They're going to charge you sales tax, but anybody can just create an account and buy from them, which is really, really nice.
I actually had a customer who I didn't have time to sit there and talk to him, so I was just go on the website and pick what you want, order it, and when it gets here, bring it to me.
Oh, dude, I send my customers to Johnson Plastics all the time. I've done so much not buying from them because I'll just like send the link to the customers.
Yeah,
I'm like, here's what you need. Pick a color, order it.
Yeah, because I don't have that cool booklet, so I'm just like, here. All right. Eli said I ordered a 60-watt JPT fiber MOPA laser. It comes with 300. I ordered the 220 and the 175. Are there any other lenses or accessories you recommend that I would buy? You guys
sales pitch?
A 175 is sometimes too big if you're doing stuff like copper. If you're doing copper, get like a 70 or a 110. A 110 I find is a nice all-around lens.
Really good.
Sometimes 175 just feels too big.
Yeah,
I would say make sure you get extraction.
Order
like
the 220 about. I mean, if you're doing some depth stuff, like a 110 would be nice, though.
Mm-hmm. I would get an extra couple pair of glasses just because you never know who's going to be in your shop. I would get an extraction kit of some kind, like the centrifugal fan, like Kyle was talking about. It's your best bet. I would get some wood stain, like Chris is showing us.
The wood stain.
Varathane. We'll have a link to that. Let me talk to you about Varathane, 1981.
It's with the pre-stain right here. It's great.
Nice.
That would make it last forever. My God. Any other things you guys got? Recommendations for Eli?
I know that we have an episode about this, multiple podcast episodes like this where we literally just ramble on for hours about accessories. Also, head over to the buying guide. If you go to lasereverything.net, which I'm pulling up right now to do a demonstration, we have a link to the buying guide right up here. You can click it, and then there's literally just pages and pages and pages of stuff we recommend you buy for your laser. And there's descriptions for all of it, how it works, why you would want it. We've got blanks, tools, parts, machines, all kinds of stuff. We don't really talk about the buying guide much these days, but it's still here and still updated regularly. I highly recommend you go check it out. So the buying guide is there.
All right. Second to last question that we've got, unless Kyle has seen more or anybody sees more.
I still have a demo to do too.
Nope. Okay. Elias said, anyone done a 3D slice engraving on a firearm?
I'm confident somebody has, but we haven't.
I feel like I've seen one. I haven't done it, but
yeah, I've seen it too. They put like
seems like that's a good, thick, solid surface to do one on if you're going to do one.
Yeah, like I could totally see that being a cool project if you do work for
like
like
a block slide.
your local municipality. Like
Yeah.
if you're doing like a steel slide for like
For
a,
the officer
retiring
retiring.
Imagine
officer
if
or
it was
something.
like kind of
Yeah.
like die cut shaped too, to like the receiver's form, and just
And
like all the way
it's
down.
actually one of the things that we had talked about maybe having on the LMA for content, because usually with YouTube, having anything related to that kind of stuff might get you dinged now or later. So
Yeah.
that might be something we do in the future. And then,
Or a year later.
yeah, at any point they can just be like, nope, not cool. So good question. Last one that's starred, it says, Tim, I want to give a shout out to Blackwell Engineering. They did a fantastic job on the order that I just placed with them. I have ordered pretty much everything they have. There you go. Nice. All right. So there you go.
We
Just
got
wanted to get
one
those out
just
there.
super
People have
recent
been
one with
commenting.
Scott Avis really quick. Let's just address that too.
Yeah.
Before we switch over. Also, I'm seeing Anthony and Frank are getting some sales on the marketplace. They're coming in while we're doing this, which is kind of cool.
Hey, all right.
So thanks, guys. Scott says, good day. I'm late to the stream, so I hope this isn't off topic. What AI or generator tools do you use or recommend? Things like artwork or box generators? Any prompt tips? That might be a whole video. It certainly is, but let's just recap the box thing since Scott is late really fast. One thing here for you, Scott, and then we can definitely address this more next week. I still have a demo to do, and we're over time. But I will put this down on the list for us to cover next Tuesday as well.
So really quick, I'm going to add it to the stage. The best thing to do would be to go watch the video I made with me and my daughter, because honestly, it's like a 4 or 5 minute explanation of all of this where it zooms in and shows you everything.
Yeah.
But with this website, which is linked in that video, so if it's hard to see, go watch the video and find it.
Grabbing you a link right now.
Go over there. You can literally go here where it says a box, an angled box. It has a really nice picture and you guys can, if you get rid of Scott's question, you might be able to see it better.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know where his question is. Thank you. So they have all kinds of really awesome projects. This is what we made, a display case. So I'll show you that real fast. It literally asks you what's the X, the Y, and basically the Z, the height that you want this thing to be. If I wanted it to be 200 millimeters, 222, I do that. Then I wanted it to be 3100 Y, 4100 high, whatever. You guys get it, right? What I end up getting is I put the information in. We'll just say that it's 100 to make life easy. And then it says the thickness that you have. So basically, this really does matter down to the decimal because, again, you're doing 1/8 usually is 3.18 or 3.2, if I remember correctly. And what's really nice is you can actually pick, do you want this as DXF, G-code, light burn, whatever. So this is something that will actually, you could make this for your, as a DXF is the, what do you call it? CNC. But we use light burn 2, right? So LBRN2. And then you can come up here, settings for the finger joints, and you can play with that. I talked about it in the video, but I left it all the same. And to generate this box right here, I just click download and it's done.
And
It just generated that box that fast.
That is how we made the basis for these lanterns.
Yep.
I
So,
basically did the
video.
same process for my box video for the video we put out just before Christmas.
Yep.
Where I did slate coasters and then made it into a gift with a gift box made out of I forget the type of wood now, but it's a hardwood. Came out beautiful. But you can use DXF, you can use SVG, it doesn't matter. Lightburn doesn't care. But use that scale option because then you can make sure everything is to the proper size you need.
Here is the link for that too. About to do the demo. Sorry guys, but here is the link to Kyle's video as well.
Check out Matt's.
Go ahead.
You check out Matt's though. It's the cuteness is undeniable.
Very good. The cuteness is off the charts.
And you should smash
You
the
had a
purpose.
Santa hat on. That was pretty cute too.
Really quick, while we are wrapping up here, somebody asked a question in the LMA earlier today, and I was like,
yes.
this is something that I'm going to show on video because it's something that needs video. If you're listening to the audio podcast, try to stick with me. Sorry in advance. But somebody asked if you can combine two libraries. They've built a library of settings for themselves that they are super happy with, but they also want access to the free laser everything parameter libraries that we offer, and they want to merge them. Is that possible? It is. You have to use software to do it. It's only available in Windows. I'm working on publishing a series right now on running Windows software on Mac. So if you need to do that, you can go watch that series. But I'm going to show you how to do it really quick. You can't just drag the new file into Lightburn and drop it and forget about it. And you can't overwrite it because that will delete everything that you've worked on so far. But there is a tool to combine these libraries and export them as one. And I'm going to show you how to do that really quick. So here we are on the Laser Everything website. I'm going to come to free settings, and we're going to come check out the free starter settings pack. So this was the settings pack in question. We're going to assume that they're working with a fiber laser parameter library, but it works the same regardless of what library you're using. Okay, so I'm going to click that, and it's going to download that library for us right there. We'll come back to that in a second. We're also going to take a look at the downloads page. So if we come back to the Laser Everything website and we go to downloads and software, we're going to scroll past the EasyCAD stuff here to the Shark Laser Parameter Converter. You can click this link to support the guy who wrote the software. Special shout out to David Christian. Amazing dude who wrote the software for the community to use for free. We host it on the website. It doesn't cost anything. Go ahead and download that too. And here's what we're going to do. So I've got my downloads folder here. Hey, look, it's Matt. We're going to extract both of these. So I'm going to right click, extract the parameter converter. And I'm going to right click and extract our library. And that's just running on my other monitor over here. So we'll just give that a second and let it do what it needs to do. There we go. And now we have two folders. We can get rid of the zipped ones. We don't need those anymore. And inside this folder, this is what the free parameter libraries look like. You're going to find a bunch of different files. There's dozens and dozens of files here. Kyle spent weeks of his life converting these for every wattage and every lens, so you don't have to. This question is about Lightburn, so we're going to be looking for a Lightburn library. And let's say it's for a 60-watt machine, and they're using a 110 lens. Okay, so here we've got the Lightburn library file. It's right there, markparam.clb. So here's the file we want. Let's go ahead and copy this, and we'll just paste this into the downloads folder. We don't need the entire folder for this demonstration. It's not letting me. Hold on one second. Copy. Let's try that again. Back. Okay. Do that the hard way. Paste. Okay, there's the library right there. We can get rid of this now. Now we've got the guy has his original library too that he wants to make sure that he doesn't lose. In this example, we're just going to make a copy of the library we're already using, and we'll call this one original library. So this is the library from his system. This is the one downloaded from the website. How do we merge these? That is the question. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is just install the Shark parameter converter. So we'll go ahead and run the setup.exe. Requires .NET runtime, very basic standard stuff. It's going to run the installer for us really quick and make sure that all of the dependencies are available. So we'll just let it do that real quick. And I've got a security prompt. Yes, I want to allow it. Bear with me, guys, because we are in real time here. And welcome to the Laser Params Converter setup. We'll hit next, 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 and it's going to go ahead and install. Another, are you sure? Yes, and it's all done. We'll hit close to exit. So great, that's done. We can close this. We can close this. We're on our desktop here. If I hit start, we should be able to find that in our all apps. So we'll scroll down to the L Laser Params Converter. It's right there. It's a new one. If you want to, you can right click it and pin it to your start menu. That way when you open start, it's just right there for you. And we're going to go ahead and launch it. And here it is. There's a new version. Yay. But we're not going to download it right now. We'll just use this one. The process is the same. So the first thing you'll notice is there is a convert option here. So you can convert from EasyCAD 2 to EasyCAD 3 or Lightburn, or you can convert from EasyCAD 2 to EasyCAD 2. So here you'll set your max power and choose a file. We have a video on that. I'll link it in the description. What we're after today is the Combine tab up here in the top. Select Library File 1, and we can go ahead and do that. And then select Library File 2. And we need to make sure we just select our format here. So I'm going to select Lightburn, and we're going to load our two libraries. And we know those are in the Downloads folder. So we've got our new library that we downloaded from the website. We're going to hit Open, and then select Library File 2. And we have our original library that we didn't want to get overwritten. And we're going to hit Open. And this is the best part right here, guys. You can go ahead and just start checking boxes. So if you want a couple of these settings here, you want that one, you want to make sure that you bring these over and all those gold settings, and we want all the leather settings and a couple of the silver ones. We can then come over to the original library, and let's say we want all our settings from our original library, so we can copy those. So we'll select all of those, for example, and then you just hit copy selected, and it brings these into the middle, and then copy selected, and it brings these into the middle, and then you click save library file. So we'll click save. It's going to save it as a new Lightburn cut library. So we'll call this combined library. Right there. And we're just going to save it somewhere we're not going to lose it. Everything else is in our downloads, so let's save it there. Library file saved. We can come back into the File Explorer, go to the Downloads folder, and there it is, combinedlibrary.clb. This will be the library you use going forward, which will contain all of the selected contents from the new library as well as the old one in one file that you can now dump into Lightburn. So that is the quick answer to that question. We could spend a lot more time getting into the laser parameter converter, but again, we have videos about that on the channel. You can just search for the word converter from our channel homepage, and those videos will come up, and I will try to link those in the description for you as well. So thanks for sticking with me.
Yeah, this is really awesome if you need to combine specific things into one library.
Yeah.
Or if you already have it installed and you've already done that and you just want to merge stuff, selecting it all and dumping it is a good thing too. If you have updates available for Lightburn in version 1.5, they did introduce a merge feature. So you can merge your libraries there too.
Nice.
Do you know how to, is that here somewhere?
And this also works on,
well,
this also works for EasyCAD 2 and EasyCAD 3 libraries. So if you have two EasyCAD 2 libraries you want to merge, you do the same thing. That works just as well. Miguel says, I can't download library. How can I do it? Well, we just downloaded one. So I would start there. But if you have more specific questions, make a post either in the Discord support forums or the Facebook group or the LMA. We could definitely take a look at it. But we're way over time, guys. We're at 1 hour and 15. I have to cut it off here. If you have questions that didn't get answered, come hang out with us again next week. It's every Tuesday, 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We come here, we do this, we chat, we bullshit, we answer questions. I'd love to meet up with you guys again next week and see all your faces again. I really love hanging out with you. Special shout out to my waifu, Chris. Thanks for coming through, dude.
No problem.
And,
Happy to be here.
Extra special shout out to Brock. Can we get a visual on that real quick?
Oh, Brocky Brock.
Oh, he's your Brocky boy. He's so cute. I love him. And Matt, Kyle, thanks for hanging out and bringing all of your things to share. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
no problem.
And final on West is 6 p.m., right? Yes, 6 p.m. West Coast. Links to all of our different community platforms, free or otherwise, are down in the description. Go sign up for one of our communities. You probably get your question answered tonight, honestly.
Don't get yourself in a sticky situation. In the communities.
Go buy all the things, support all the members of our community, guys. Very few of the things that we talked about tonight are sold by big businesses. Most of it is people just like you and me trying to make a living, coming up with creative solutions to problems that we all have. And so we try to collect all of those people in one place on the marketplace. And I think it's been doing a really good job showing that stuff off. That's it, guys. I got to wrap it up. I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for spending your night with us tonight. And we will see you guys in the next one.
Stop. It's laser time.
So
Uh-oh.
we love you, JP Plus. Laser time. Whoa, 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 whoa.